will totally get to filming this video about overcoming obstacles during NaNoWriMo as soon as I finish reading this. Alright, so today I'm going to talk to you about obstacles and overcoming them for NaNoWriMo, because let's face it, we will all encounter obstacles. Very few of us, if any, will have the luxury of spending an entire November doing nothing but writing. And probably the biggest one most of us will face is our own procrastination, our desire to do it just as soon as we finish reading whatever we're reading, doing whatever we're doing, sleeping for that extra 5 hours. Now, the easiest way to overcome your procrastination is a very simple method. You simply have to do whatever it is you're going to do. But let's face it, all of us procrastinators out there know that if it was as simple as just doing it, we wouldn't be procrastinators. So there are a few other ways I found to trick myself out of procrastination that I will share with you to help you procrastinate less. The first way is to trick yourself into procrastinating something else and do your NaNoWriMo as a way of procrastinating on that thing. I found, for me personally, writing essays in school, it was the quickest way to get me to writing whatever I wanted within a couple sentences, at most a paragraph. I generally was like, I should be writing a story instead. And this is A, good because you get to start writing on those school essays of yours earlier than usual, and B, because if you start your essay early, you can then write whatever you want and then just use this trick to write both your entire school essay and your NaNoWriMo project. It's a complicated way, I admit, but I found during my college years especially this was an extremely helpful tool. And the second way to overcome your procrastination is to hire someone to make sure you get your work done. And by hire, I mean ask your brother or sister to make sure you do your daily writing. My brother on my back right now, I told him what I wanted to be writing and about how much I wanted to be writing, and every like 3 or 4 hours I hear, Megan, how much writing have you done today? And then I'm just like, right, I should get to that instead of procrastinating by reading another novel. Because during NaNoWriMo, the most important thing is writing as opposed to all of your other hobbies. Also, if you're a really self-disciplined procrastinator, you might find that being able to just like set a schedule for yourself for every writing day will help you get through your procrastination if you are that disciplined. I'm rarely that disciplined though. The second major obstacle you will face is either school or work. Very few of us have the option of not going to school or work for an entire month. So if you're in school, you have it a bit easier because you can obviously take a notebook with you or write in the spines of your notebook during passing periods, during lunch. You can even skip taking notes sometimes, although I wouldn't recommend it all the time. And you can do your writing like that. If you have a job like my current job, basically you just gotta tough it out. There's literally no time for thinking at my job, and the 1 15-minute break I have, I can't actually do anything, and it's just really inconvenient for NaNoWriMo. But you just have to tough it out, and if you can during your job, if you have a job like my previous job, then you could totally write during this time. And so take advantage of the free time you have and whether or not you can actually write. The third obstacle I have is actually the obstacle that prevented me from completing NaNoWriMo last year, and that is getting sick. Obviously, you can do the preventative stuff, eat better, make sure you get the right amount of sleep and stuff, but nothing is really going to save you if someone comes into your house puking their guts out, and then that one person becomes 2, and then it becomes you. I lost 5 days of last year's NaNoWriMo, all because my sister had to go out and babysit a sick kid and got his cold. So while you can't really do anything once you're sick if you spend that entire time, what I ended up doing was just extending my own personal NaNoWriMo for the 5 days I had been sick, and I actually managed to complete the story in that 5-day window. It's not the best way to deal with being sick. I mean, let's face it, we'd all rather not be sick, but you can't really penalize yourself for when things happen that are beyond your control. The best thing you can do is just go with it, and if you manage to complete even that time you know you would have had you not gotten sick. And just don't be too hard on yourself. The fourth obstacle is your social calendar. Doesn't seem like a lot, and on some days it's not a lot. On other days it's a massive amount of words that you spend your entire day writing. It just depends on how you're feeling about your story that day and how it is going, which is another reason in my last video I told you that you should plot out your general story so that you're always working towards something in the month of November. So a lot of people will be like, just lock yourself in a room and don't come out. That is a terrible idea because you will get what I like to call writer's fatigue, and it's where you just sit at your computer and then like you slowly start typing slower and slower, and then your eyelids start to droop, and then you go to sleep because you're just so bored, because you can get bored writing, especially if you're doing it when you're doing it long periods every day for consecutive days. So make plans with your friends maybe once or twice a week, but don't plan to be like, out on an all-night party binge that causes you to sleep until 4 the next day, because that just isn't going to help you. What you need to do is pick a couple days with your friends to just like relax. Obviously you should still do writing during these days. You just might want to plan it for a day where you actually get your writing done early. You don't want to like sit there hating your story for days on end because you want to go hang out with your friends. And don't forget to take breaks and just relax sometimes, because you will be stressed out during this process no matter how confident you think you'll be in completing it. And just accept that there are things you can't control, and there will be times where you wish you could be writing and you can't. So those are my guidelines for helping you overcome some obstacles you will face in NaNoWriMo. I really just focus on some of the bigger ones that you will face. But you will definitely encounter all different kinds of little obstacles and stuff. Families wanting to go out to dinner and whatnot. So all you have to do is really just keep calm, focus on overcoming the obstacle and getting back to your writing, and you should be good. I will be back next Tuesday with another NaNoWriMo prep video, and I will of course have other videos throughout the week for you. And so until next time, talk to you later. I get it for one moment and my chair is stolen.